Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the King's Dilemma Chronicles. We're gonna go ahead and continue and leave or pick up right where we left off. I'm having a lot of fun with this storyline, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. And then I think we're gonna keep going with the oh, where is it? Are there no more for them right now? It doesn't look like it. That's okay. We'll choose another one after that. Probably the iron one, because that was pretty interesting too. But then the one with that, like, girl was really interesting too. I forget what it was called. This one, I think, maybe? Yeah, it was this one. So we'll do this first, though. An ancient musical instrument made entirely of glass was discovered in the Nebula Mountains. While studying its outlandish workings, our scholars observe that its sound arouses depression in those who hear it. The talented musician Suwey composed a suite inspired by it, and wants to perform with the instrument during a public concert to see the effect on a vast scale. Do we allow him to play it? I say, yeah, why not? Gonna have to fight him, but... It takes a while for Suwey to learn how to play the glass instrument, but her first public performance is a resounding critical success. The melancholic choir of snowflakes, Suwey's composition, will inspire musicians for generations to come. A few weeks later, though, the hearts of our people are struck with grief when we learn of Suwey's suicide. Oh no. The glass instrument becomes popular among intellectuals. Unfortunately, its eerie sounds plunges the players into an inescapable depression, often leading to suicide. Yikes. That's not good. Okay. What's this going? Oh, we can do this. We can import it. I feel like that's not that useful though. Let's go ahead and pass over the clouds. A strange horned sheep from the Nebula Mountains make the softest wool. It can be used to create insulated garments that keep you warm even in the coldest winters. We could try to import the livestock and breed them on our own, but the transportation costs would be huge. Do we import it for their soft wool? Oh, definitely. Oh, they're 50-50. I'll change you. There we go. So I don't lose a heart. Go. A lot of money is spent to buy the transport of the horned sheep back to Ankist. Most of the animals suffer and die while traversing the Ivory Desert, but the few that survive provide enough wool to make our winters less cold. Clothes made from the horned sheep will become extremely fashionable, with the positive side effect of decreasing the number of freezing deaths during winter. I'm glad I did that. Alright. The mosaics discovered at Chalice Peak could help our scholars understand the cult of the Sand Priestesses. This librarian chancellor suggests we bring them to Libra, despite the costs involved, so they can be studied without requiring long and unsafe travel. Chalice Peak is still a temple of the Mother, though, and the holy attendant thinks it should not be further profaned. Do we recover the mosaics? Oh, definitely. That's what I thought. Let's do it. The librarian chancellor's proposal is approved, despite the high costs of endeavor and the lamentations of the holy attendant. Some think we're desecrating a holy place, but relocating the mosaics to Libra will help preserve them, as well as make it easier for scholars to study them. Retrieving the artifacts from the desert temple increased our collection of foreign antiquities, an inspiring display of the past that our future generations of scholars will be able to study for years to come. See, I think that's good. Whoa. Alright. Which one do we want to focus? I'm thinking this one because it's like all mystical and stuff and it's kind of cool. So let's do this one. Hysadora is known to write her notes cryptically. She often proposes peculiar experiments to prove her discoveries, but our resources are limited, and the choice of a specific one excludes the other. Choose an experiment. Okay, so B is like with a map. So you take this rock, a needle, and a map. Water chalice. A sounds more interesting. Hysadora's discovered that some strange stones are attracted to each other, and sometimes they tend to move in a specific direction. Our scholars put some in a chalice, but they remain still. The next day they put the same stones on a floating base in the water, and they observed that they always move toward the nearby chalice. Huh. Our scholars build a device that always points toward the same direction, regardless of its orientation. But what is it pointing at? A lively and heated debate starts raging within the cult. Some priestesses say it must be attracted toward the mother, like everything that exists, but the device is not pointing toward the sky where she lives as a constellation. Implying that the mother is still on Earth would cause huge theological problems. Yet, many call the device the divine recall, and pilgrims want to use it to reunite with the mother, even in their mortal lives. Ooh. Interesting. Scholars spend loads of time trying to understand Hysadora's cryptic schemes. They show strange correlations between improbable materials, but resources are limited, and the choice of a specific experiment excludes the other. Choose an experiment. Ooh. Heating up a mushroom with a vial. Or using these stones with rotten eggs into a gem? The one with the gem sounds more interesting. But the potion could be something like really OP. Let's do the potion. Following Hysadora's cryptic instructions, our scholar melt the poisonous madcap mushrooms into an acid solution. When the resulting liquid is then warmed up by a flame. The royal laboratory is invaded by toxic fumes, killing many of the scholars who are working inside. Oh no! The few surviving scholars, though, claim the mother herself appeared to them, imploring them not to give up on the experiments. They soon discover that if inhaled in modest quantities, the intoxicating vapors induce mystical visions in those who breathe them. Amazed that it succeeded in opening the hearts of the lay scholars to the mother, the substance is enthusiastically adopted by the cult. The priestesses charge their censers with this new holy mist and run processions along the streets. That's interesting. Keep going with this one. This is so interesting. Scholars spend loads of time trying to... Yeah. They show strange correlations between improv... Yeah. Okay. So A is bugs and a potion. Fire and water. Let's do the water. Trying to decipher yet another of Hysadora's projects, our scholars fill a metal compartment with water, then put it over a hot flame. The flame is unable to melt the metal, but the scholars observe that the vapors from the water generate constant upward force. The scholars follow Hysadora's intuition about the constant force of vapors to assemble a huge steam-powered contraption. With a low buzz, the humongous machine begins to move. Ooh. While its movements are rigid, they do seem to possess great strength, and the applications for this vapor motors are endless. The people begin calling this mechanism the steam giant. Ooh, I like that. Alright. Go ahead and continue this one. A communal holy mist prayer leads to some priestesses to indecent behavior in public. Some say the holy mist is to blame, but the priestesses as a cult should be capable of self-control no matter what. Do we punish the priestesses guilty of indecent behavior? Nay? Why nay? I mean, I need it to go up, but I don't really understand why. A lack of punishment is implicit approval. People wholeheartedly embrace the new libertine approach of faith, fueled by holy mist, raising spirits and gratifying bodies. We condone the liberal use of holy mist during religious ceremonies. In time, the festivity of Air, the saint daughter of love, became a recurrent holy bacchanal. Alright. Cool. So that went up, which does help. Alright. It looks like... Oh no, we get to continue with the steam giant. Okay, cool. Hype! The steam giant is being used to help plow fields and grind wheat. Our farmers are relying heavily on its services at this point, but the High Commander feels it could be put to better use. Do we shift this use of a steam giant from agrarian to military? I think nay, but we kind of need to, sadly. The machine is sent to the armory with deep regret among the starving population, but it's for the greater good. The towering presence of the steam giant alone is enough to dissuade all but the most organized military forces from any hostile enterprise. Alright. Let's go ahead and continue with these things. So I do want to do knowledge a bit before our king dies. So maybe we do a knowledge-based one. Let's do this one. Increasingly, rumors of the fierce kingdom of Enkel worry our people. Many think we should recruit more soldiers among the peasants to patrol the unclaimed lands north of our border. Scholars believe we should instead investigate the customs of Enkel to ascertain whether they really are a menace and to clarify a misunderstanding caused by the smugglers. Do we recruit more peasants into the army? Wait, can I read this again? Recruit more soldiers among the peasants. Instead, investigate the customs to ascertain whether they really are a menace. I think we investigate. Trusted scholars began researching the customs of the kingdom of Enkel, while a delegation of brave diplomats leave for the Crimson Keep to ask for official audience. Many, however, fear we are leaving our borders unprotected. Our decision to investigate the culture of the kingdom of Enkel sparked the keen interest of our scholars, fascinated by their unusual customs and habits. After the initial diplomatic incident, our diplomats have been formally invited to the northern court at the Crimson Keep, where they welcomed respectfully but coldly. Enkel is a small but highly competitive society. Their clans constantly struggle for leadership, and their warrior kings must display continuous strength to stay in power, which explains their exceptional military prowess. While some might regard them as barbarians, they are organized and disciplined. Serving in the military is the highest honor to them, reserved to those proven might and impeccable courage. Though few in number, they prove a formidable foe. Still, they are honorable. As long as they are not provoked, they should pose no danger. See? That's good. And this is going to do better for our extremist thing. That is going to do so good for us. Okay. This is pretty interesting, but I kind of want to get back to... But we got the bit with the girl who used to be the witch. Well, we can do the eyes to the sky. Yeah. An entrepreneur named Laprom has decided to embark on a daring endeavor, traveling through all the known lands. The king has already decided to support his cause, but Laprom will need a large, expensive workforce. As a cheap alternative, we could forcibly enlist the many prisoners in our dungeons, many whom have experience as sailors. Do we force prisoners to join Laprom's journey? It's kind of risky. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. We ultimately decide against the conscription. Many of the criminals were imprisoned for mutiny in the first place and would not have been a valuable workforce anyway. This means we'll have to hire more expensive laborers, though. Alright. all good. I don't know which one. We'll do this one. The famous cartographer Signar is seeking funds for a costly expedition to find the Salan Union, a mythical civilization of half-gods who left marvelous ruins all over Lywick. He claims they might still live on a remote island in the Ciar Ocean, and he's sure we can find it thanks to the Farscope. The royal treasurer thinks our money would be better spent elsewhere. Do we fund the exploration? Aye, we sure do. After long and expensive preparations, a huge fleet prepares to depart from Solad to probe beyond the western horizon under the direction of Signar. The agile vessels will soon swiftly ride the waves, but the ocean is mysterious, home to dangers and opportunities alike. The vast Ciar Ocean holds many secrets and treasures, yet it is still mostly uncharted. The people of Solad, who have often lost themselves gazing into the blue vastness, gather in the city of Rowan to cheer on the fleet as it leaves the famous harbor, itself fabled to have been built on top of the ruins of an ancient settlement on the mystical Salon. As the swift high-draft ships peacefully lurch into the deep waters of Explorer's Bay, a huge crowd gathers upon the white cliffs, from Rowan to the lighthouse at the Sunset Cape, to salute the intrepid seafarers until the ship fade from view to the west, vanishing into the unknown immensity. Ooh, I think that's the start of this one. Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna double check this one. Yeah, so this one's pretty easy. Alright. You can continue this here. I think. Or did it? I think it started a new one though. Yeah, I think it started this one. Yeah, so let's go ahead. We'll do this one. Actually, it doesn't matter. We'll do this one. We received news that after months spent wandering the Ciar Ocean in search of the fabled island, our fleet has discovered a large shipwreck graveyard. On the brink of insanity due to their lengthy journey, the sailors want to abandon the search and recover the sunken treasures. Do we order the sailors in the Ciar Ocean to keep exploring? Sure, I don't care what they do. The fleet continues its search for Mythical Island, despite the protests of the crews. However, such a prolonged journey into an empty ocean is taxing on the minds and bodies of the sailors. Many of them go mad with despair and throw themselves into the sea. Oh no. Persistence rewards us. The location of the lost island of the Salon has been found. Getting there was no mean feat, but a great reward awaits our emissaries when they finally arrive. The library, a grand stilt tower made of metal and colored glass, still stands by the sea, right at the entrance to the main bay. Almost looks like a modern building, especially like these other buildings in the distance. The islanders, the last descendants of the Salon, are now regressed to fishing and pastoralism, and are very welcoming and mostly unaware of the library's precious content, instead worshipping it as a god of glass and iron. Only the few of them who can read are granted access to it and retain any memory of their glorious past. They're called the Holy Guardians, and their peers revere them as priests. Ooh, that sounds difficult to, like, get the info out of them. You know? The king has died. That's okay. You know why? Because we have a ton of power! There you go. The extremist one is fun, but it is an issue. So Yeah. I don't know. I could try opulent to change things up, but I really like extremist. It's easy. Okay, so we have a few options here. So import the red cacti. We can't do that one. Study techniques for extracting information. Research castle security. Plan castle renovation. Okay, build a food pantry. That sounds really good for us. And it would gain us 2 of those, which are kind of annoying to get. And the others, I don't know, like, what they would do. Yeah, let's go ahead and build the food pantry. There you go. And then we finish this one, too. Alright. Onwards with the new one, except you guys will have to wait for the next episode to find out what happens with this king. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video. Tell me your thoughts on all of my decisions I have made tonight. And yeah, also go follow me over on Twitch. I stream there 4 days a week, and subscribe to me here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.